Hello Booktube, I've got a fun tag for you today. This is the book buying tag. This was created by Alex's Archives, and this was inspired by a Michael K. Vaughan video about books, what happens to your books after you die, and what do you leave behind and all that. And he made like a lovely tag based on that video, and I've got to do it because it's so fun. And so let's start. So question number one: how many books do you own? Physical, digital, or just physical, or whatever makes the most sense to you. I counted the books I have at the start of the year, and I think just over 1,000, like probably 1,020-ish. But I've done some insanely big unhauls. Like literally a couple weeks ago, I literally got rid of 30 books. And like doubles and like pretty editions. I don't need that stuff. But then I get a lot of books too, so I don't know what would it be right now. But ebooks are its own thing. I probably have at least 300 ebooks. But I go through them and I edit. Get rid of the ones I don't like and all that. Like I'm very much always going through my books. No matter how much I have, I'm always like, this can go, this can go. I'm always in like an unholding era, and I kind of love that. But normally that's probably a rough estimate about how many books I have. Number two, what percentage of your books do you think you have actually read? I would say probably like 80%, because you don't want to read everything, because what have you got to read after that? But probably 80%. The majority of stuff I've read and I love. And yeah. Number four, how do you decide whether to buy a book instead of borrowing it? I don't really borrow books. I will borrow like if it's an audio or something, and that will be the determination if I like it enough to buy it physically. Same with ebooks. Like normally I'll just e-read a book first, and I'm like, oh, is that worth buying? When I get some money or whatever, I'll keep on the hunt for it secondhand. It's normally something like that. Then like if I like it, I'll buy it physically or whatever. But yeah, it's mostly I test the book through audio or ebooks, and then I decide if it's worth buying, really. But there's some authors that kind of just automatic buyers, but yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so number five, what do you do to keep? What do you do with books after you read them? Keep them, unhaul them, donate them, or resell. I donate them. I have 3 little book boxes. I go around, make them as full as humanly possible, or dump them at op shops and stuff like that, really, or give them to people they want it. I'm free. Like literally take whatever you want, like literally. Number six, what makes a book worth keeping on your shelf? Is it a favorite, a reference, an aesthetic, identity? And for me, I've always kept this in mind, is if I think about it. If I think about a book, I'll keep it. Like, or a book a favorite, yeah, I guess. But I gotta reread that book though. It can't just be a favorite and I never touch it again. I've got to go back to it. And the same as like there's some books I'm like I don't reread all the time, but it lives rent free in my mind. So like I'm more than happy to have a copy of that. But yeah, what makes a book worth keeping is if I still think about it. Because if it's been 6 months and I haven't even thought about that book, I'm like, oh, it kind of can go. Or I'll get rid of the physical copy and then just get an ebook version of it, like something like that. I know it's a bit weird, but it depends on how much I think about the book, really. Number seven, do you use an e-reader? And if so, has it reduced your physical book buying? At the start of the year, I brought a Kindle and my life has been changed forever. In terms of, I don't know, really. Because I really just buy books secondhand, so it's not that much of an investment. But even then, I feel like I've portioned certain books I buy to e-reading, like romance or something. I mostly just buy that as ebooks, and I'm fine with that. Or even having some of my favorite books as ebooks, like elected books or something like that, which I know I will reread. Or hey, I have her both physically and as e-copies too. Like I always have her in my pocket, which is really funny. But yeah, it's probably stayed the same, to be honest. Like it's kind of turned into a more of like this is I see it like or a great example is when I got Elman's Joyce biography, because I could have ebooked that for years because I reread it. I'm rereading it right now, but I read it as a teen and absolutely adored it. And I found a big hardcover of it. I was like, I'll get that. even though I could have had the ebook for literally years, but I don't know why. But yeah, it's kind of just stayed the same really. How often do you use the library instead of buying books, and what kinds of reads? I do use my library actually. I use Everland. I pretty much use the library for new releases. Audiobook them at work or even ebooks because no one really borrows ebooks, so it's always good to get newer releases. And then if I like those newer releases, I'll buy them physically or whatever. But yeah, I normally use the library for new releases, really, and audiobooks. But then I've got LibriVox too, which is one of the greatest resources ever. The Project Gutenberg of audiobooks, if you will. And then number 9, what's the biggest regret purchase or category of overbuying? Like unread classics, Booktube hype, impulse buys. And for me, this is historical romance because I don't see them much when I go shopping. And so whenever I have a big book sale and I see old, Avon romances, I just sweep them up and they literally sit in my room for God knows how long. And then I don't think about them because I get so excited in the moment of seeing, Regency romances and all that. And then I don't read them. And it's a cycle at this point. And that's probably my biggest, it's not regret though, because they were so cheap. But yeah, it's definitely an indulgence when I see historical romance. I need them in my life. Or bodice rippers too, because I never see them secondhand. And so yeah, number 10. If you had to cap your library at a fixed number, like such as 100, it says here, how would you decide what stays? Again, it would be, if it could only be physical, I would go through all thousands and think about it, hold it, and think, do I go back to this author or not? And then if I don't think about it, it can go, like literally. Especially classics, because I have a lot of classics and I just can't let go of a lot of them, even the authors I don't like, because I think about them so much. And especially when we get to the 1800s, like the sheer amount of, when novels started kicking off. So you got not just, a collected poetry, but you have multiple novels. Obviously people think of Dickens and, George Eliot and Gaskell and all of them. But it would be what means to me the most, or the ones that I think about the most, that maybe if I have annotations in there that I thought were really compelling, but then I'm like, oh, I'll keep a handful, like maybe 20 of ones I haven't read. I don't know, I haven't thought about it, but I would keep the books that live rent-free in my mind, that I'm always going back to, always talking about and referencing, and it would be interesting to see if I had to do that. But yeah, that was a quick book buying tag. Thank you, Mike, for his original video, and thank you, Alex, for these great questions. If you like these questions, feel free to do it. It's such a reflective tag. And yeah, thank you so much for watching Booktube, and I will see you next time.